What's up, MTG Arena fans? My name is Asen Ortiz, and this is my channel, MTG Budget Brew. I've spent the past few days trying to figure out which rare goblin card is the absolute best to craft for a budget deck. I'm going to go over all of my test results and the final deck list that I landed on, but if you'd rather skip that and just see the deck in action, I'll have timestamps set up for all of my matches. So, for those who don't know, I make budget decks with the restriction of only using a total of 4 rare/mythic cards in a deck, so a playset's worth. I mostly play casual, best of 1 historic, which is what you'll be seeing today. Now, here I have my top contenders for the best goblin. I made decks for each of these and played 20 matches with them. I know that sample size is very small, but it was still enough to give me an idea about the consistency of each deck, and honestly, I'm not trying to play a couple hundred or even 1,000 games of mono red goblins. So, before we take a look at my results with each of those decks, I want you guys to comment down below as to which of these you think ended up doing the best. And if you think there's an even better goblin that I missed that also deserves a test, let me know that down in the comments too. Okay, so at the bottom of the list with a 60% win rate, we have Krenko Mob Boss. Not a bad win rate, but we can do a lot better than that. Next, we have a tie for 4th and 5th place. Both of these decks having a 65% win rate, and they are Goblin Chain Whirler and Muxus Goblin Grandee. Still a very respectable win rate, but we're not done yet. Up next in 3rd place with a 70% win rate, we have Krenko, 10th Street Kingpin. While most cards between these lists are the same, I would like to highlight the 3 copies of Invigorated Rampage that are in my Kingpin deck. They work extremely well with this version of Krenko to both help you connect for damage and also to build your board very quickly. Alright, now we're down to our final 2 goblins. Did you guess correctly? Which one came out on top? Rundvelt Hordemaster or Goblin Chieftain? I'll tell you right now, between these two, there was actually a tie. Both of these decks had an 80% win rate. So now you might be wondering, which card do I craft then if it's a tie? My personal pick between the two is Hordemaster. Now, the reason why is because when playing mono red goblins, your goal is to go really wide with a bunch of small creatures, right? One of the main ways that we lose is to board wipes. We don't have any protection against them whatsoever. So the only thing that you can do after being wiped is to rebuild. And that's why I think Hordemaster is superior. It will still buff your goblins like Chieftain does, but it makes you way more resilient to board wipes. That's it. That's why I think it's better. Now, I will say this, however. If you plan on upgrading your goblin deck in the future, I would actually choose to craft Goblin Chieftain because it has way better synergy with the other rare goblins like Muxus and Krenko Mob Boss. If you just want a standalone budget goblin deck though, I'd say craft Hordemaster and call it a day. Now, let's see if I can showcase what this deck can really do. Alright, here we are in another match. Opening hand, looking pretty good. I like it. Turn 1 Firebrand, turn 2 Goblin Instigator. I don't know why people do this, and it irks me. It irks me a lot. I've been checking for this in most of my matches now. I check to see who's running more than 60 cards in a deck. Our opponent is. Our opponent is running 61 cards. It's unnecessary. And it bugs me. People need to learn how to cut cards better. Like, really, the main reason that people run 60 cards is for consistency. I'll admit, adding 1 additional card doesn't make a huge difference, really. But by that same token, again, it doesn't make a huge difference, really. Do you really think that 61st card is going to be the thing to push your deck over the top and make it super great? Probably not. It bugs me. I think more people need to get better at trimming their decks. Alright, I'll stop complaining about it. But I'm telling you, you start checking your opponent's decks. See how many cards they're running. You're gonna see, I guarantee you're gonna see a lot more people running over 60 cards than you would think. Okay, so let's see. What do I want to do here? So I'm definitely swinging with both of these goblins. They both contest Gutter Snipe. Gutter Snipe is probably not going to block me. But in case it does, we get a draw off of Hordemaster. So I'm just going to play Firebrand, swing these 3, and we see if he takes a trade. Alright, he doesn't. In which case, we just drop Goblin Instigator here, pass, and honestly, we're looking really good next turn for, you know, closing out this game. Unless I do something really crazy here. Okay, crash through. Take 2 from that. Alright, still got 3 mana. Another Runaway Steamkin. I don't think it's going to be enough for them. They do still have 3 blockers. Let's see. Next turn, I'm connecting for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 damage. If they don't play another creature, I think that's just game. Oh, are they killing the Hordemaster? They are not. Alright. Wait. Was that free to cast, or did I miscount their mana? This is suspicious that they still have 1 mana available. Alright. So we're going to swing out. They block 1, 2. We're going to Ambitious Assault. They have any response? Nope. That's just game. Easy. I'm hoping that, you know, my next opponent will be running something other than mono red. Alright. This opening hand, pretty good. While we don't have a 1-drop, I do still like this a lot. The double Hordemaster, Battle Cry Goblin, really good. Really good. If we don't pick up a 1-drop, it's not the end of the world. But we're definitely going to start with the Krenko's command first. It's just better to get the 2 bodies on the ground, so then that way on turn 3, we maybe play Hordemaster to buff our creatures, swing in for 4, potentially. And again, the more bodies we have on the board when Hordemaster comes out, the better, in case of board wipes or honestly any removal. Our opponent running 62 cards. Another mono red deck. Okay. This is not great. We don't have a turn 1. They're on the play. Cavalcade of Calamity comes down. We're not in a super great spot. But they don't typically have ways to increase the toughness of their creatures. So if they want to swing the Scorch Pitter at us, we can block it. And we will be more than happy to take that trade. The Phoenix chick is a little bit worrisome. Like I said, we take the block here. Okay. We set up the Goblin Warchief. We're going to swing both. And we're going to hope that they don't have any removal for the Warchief. If Warchief comes down, or if it survives its turn, next turn, we're going off. We're taking 6 damage here. We go down to 7. It's very scary. So I got to think, is this enough for lethal? This would give me 4 bodies. That'd be 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 damage. We could set them to 3. Oh my god, it's so close. What if I Goblin Instigator and then double Hordemaster? Is that more damage? I'm not going to do the math. We're going to see right now. I think it is more damage. Oh, that's game. Easy. Counting for blockers. Done. Easy. That was another mono red deck though. It's like the game knows that we're playing mono red, and they're just like, hey, you're mono red, here's another mono red guy. The game knows. It tries to give you mirror matches. It knows. Okay. Taking a look at our opening hand, it's not bad. I would love to get a 1-drop, but I mean, again, it's still not that bad. We are on the draw, so maybe we'll get lucky. And we do. All right. Skirk Prospector. Pretty good. Our opponent played a Mountain. Again, I'm hoping they're not another mono red deck. They're probably not. Nope. I would say they're probably Gruul. Okay. Hellhound is pretty bad for us. Okay, we're just going to play our Hordemaster here. We are going to swing with a Skirk Prospector. I don't expect them to have any response with a single green. No. Hey, they take 2. That's good. We're chilling. I'm not sure if Gruul Landfall plays a lot of fight effects. If they do, though, we have the Hordemaster, and so we'll get to exile the top card of our library. So essentially get to draw a card. So it wouldn't be the worst case scenario if they did have some kind of fight effect. Let's see. Warchief or Outburst? It's tough. I think I just go for the Outburst here. Swing in for 3, and we end the turn. This is going to be a close game, I think. Because Hellhound, it gets really big very quickly. And I've played against a couple... Ooh. I've played against a couple of these landfall decks with, goblins. And it's been close. Toski is interesting, though. And very slow for them, which is very good for us. Okay, so let's see. I think I'm going to Warchief here. And now Firebrand. Let's see. We're going to go to combat. We're going to swing everything but the Hordemaster. Yeah, everything but the Hordemaster. Okay, we're in a super good position. I would be very surprised if our opponent manages to win. They'd have to burst us down for a lot. And I don't think that, even with the 4 mana that they have, I don't think they can do it. It'd be close. Like, maybe if they harrowed into Harrow again and had, like... No, I think maybe double Harrow would, like, deal a lot of damage. That'd be what? 4 or 5 landfall triggers? It'd be like plus 10. It'd be a lot. No blocks here. We'll just eat the damage. We go down to 12. They are going to draw 3 off of Toski, but they only have a single green mana up, so I'm not that worried. And we just hit him with a good game. Easy. All right, so we got closer. I asked for something that was not mono red, and we got Gruul. Okay, taking a look at our opening hand, I'm not sure how I feel about it. We're on the play, no 1-drop. It feels a little bit bad. But if we get the Warchief down on 3, we're probably looking at like a pretty good position from there. I mean, maybe, who knows? We'll see what our opponent's playing. All right, I pass. If you notice, I keep checking my opponent's decks. I want to check the deck size. Okay, so let's see. Do I think they'll have removal on turn 2? Probably. So let's go with Hordemaster. Again, if it gets removed, that's just an extra card either out of the way or something that we can play. So, I'm not too worried about it dying. Battle Cry Goblin is a great turn 4 play. Is a great turn 4 play because you can play it and then use its ability in the same turn, pumping your board, and also allowing you to swing with the Battle Cry Goblin. Okay, there's removal for our Warchief. Kind of expected it. That's okay. All right, not bad. We got a mountain out of the way. Not bad, not bad. Now, ideally, we would be running even more goblin creatures in the deck to try and make Hordemaster better. But because we are playing a budget version, I am running, let's see, a full set of Krenko's Command. And then you've already seen Hordeling Outburst. And we do, again, have Ambitious Assault. So there's a couple cards that we can hit that will get exiled from Hordemaster that we can't play, besides lands. But overall, I still like it. Okay, so I know I said that it would be a great turn 4 play for Battle Cry Goblin, but we have no board. And I don't think it's worth playing it out right now. So we're just going to set up the Krenko's Command instead of the Goblin Warchief. Swing in for 1, and we're going to end the turn. Oh. I didn't even pay attention to the fact that my opponent played a mountain. Okay, we're kind of just like building up on what colors my opponent's playing. We went from mono red to Gruul to now. I'm not great at the three color names. I'm not gonna lie. I want to say Jund. That doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't feel right. But we went from red to red and green to red, green, and black. I'm gonna feel like a clown when I look it up, and it's not Jund. Okay. Ooh. Do I risk it and play the Battle Cry Goblin? Is there any incentive to? Hordeling Outburst is definitely coming out this turn. Next turn, if I play Goblin Warchief for 3, I can Battle Cry Goblin for 1. If we draw another land, it's a really good play. If we don't, it's not that great. I'm going to risk it. I'm going to play the Battle Cry Goblin now. I don't think he's going to see it as that big of a threat because we're not using its ability right now. So we'll see if it survives the next turn. Opponent has Lord Xander in their deck. Wow. Sees the spoils, past summoning. Okay. So I got to remember that they will gain 2 life if and or when they block with the pest. Lord Xander. Okay. They brought him back. It's not that scary. So, oof. Yeah, we're in a really good spot. Okay, so with Battle Cry Goblin, you should normally swing out first if you have 6 power on the board already, because this will get you an additional 1/1, and after you've declared attackers and gotten the 1/1, then you pump your board so that 1/1 gets more damage as well. But because we have the Hordeling Outburst, we're going to cast this first. We're going to give all of these guys haste with Battle Cry Goblin's ability, and we're going to swing for what should be game. But I don't know. Again, math is for blockers. So we'll see right now if it's enough. It probably is. That looks like a lot of damage to me. And yeah, that's game. Got we overkilled by 8. Easy. Okay, this opening hand, not too shabby. Opponent playing 61 cards. Don't know why. I can't explain it. There's just one card that they really have to hang on to. Can't cut anything. They can't do it. Don't know why. But I'm telling you, it annoys me. Just a little bit. It really does irk me. There's very few reasons to run more than 60 cards. Yori on deck. That's a very good reason to run more than 60 cards, right? But again, outside of that, I can't think of a lot of reasons that you need that 1 additional card, or those 4 additional cards, or those 20 additional cards. I've seen a ridiculous amount of decks that are 100 card plus for no reason. And I end up beating most of them. And I assume the reason why is because they don't find what they're looking for. The reason you don't find what you're looking for is because you have too many cards in your deck. The whole point of staying at 60 is it's about consistency. And if you can't win with a 60 card deck, that means that you're building it wrong. That's it. If you really think that you need like 80, 90 cards in your deck, you're doing too much. I promise you, you're doing too much. You need to focus on your win condition more. I used to struggle with that when I was newer to Magic as well. I'd be like, okay, well, I want to run this card. This is my idea for the deck, right? I'm like, okay, cool. To help me win, I'm going to add this card. And now, I'm like, oh, wow, that's really cool. Now, I see another card, a third card. I'm like, wow, that third card goes really well with the second card. But what I ignore is the fact that card number 3 does not pair well with card number 1, and card number 1 is the win condition. That's where I think people mess up. They try to do too much. Or they're like, okay, but what about in this scenario, if this happens, but I have this card, I'm in like a really good spot, right? And maybe people just try to, they just try to play around with too many different what ifs, too many potential scenarios that just end up making your deck worse because you deviate from your game plan. You're thinking too much about everything that your opponents are going to do. And you can't build around everything. You can't. Certain decks have better matchups against certain other decks. It's just how the deck archetypes work, you know? All right, our opponent is really taking their time here. We're in a good spot here. We have Warchief down, Hordemaster, and Fireblade Charger. If any of these die, that's not too bad for us. Hordemaster will trigger. Fireblade Charger, if it dies, we still get to deal 2 damage to our opponent. Oh, man. That's rough. That's rough. Our opponent has been an Aura deck this whole time. They're usually pretty aggressive. Horse Spirit Dancer is something you definitely want to see on turn 2. But But the reason why was because their turn 1 land was a tap land, and their turn 2 land was a tap land. That's crazy. I promise you that they have more rares just in their mana base than we do in our entire deck, and it's not helping them right now. Okay, while this does not have, what am I trying to say? Lifelink, we want to try to get in for as much damage as we can. Now, our goblins all have haste right now. Hordemaster is going to buff the entire board again. Goblin Instigator is going to give us 2 goblins for the price of 1. And now we have Fireblade Charger as well. Dude, look at that board. Look what we just did with 3 mana. That's crazy. Let's see. Can they survive if they block this 4? Probably. No. That's 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 damage. That's game. We're going to hit him with the old boom. GG. We went against someone who didn't have red. Against someone who did not have red. It's nice. Yeah, take your block. I'm sorry, man. You're tapped out. There's nothing you can do to get out of this. Any day now. Any day now. Not even blocking the most damage. Nice. Alright, that was a really fast one. Okay. Our opening hand. Not too bad, not too bad. Opponent running 67 cards. It makes me really want to beat them. If we end up losing, I will feel a bit sad after talking all that shit. But we did beat the deck who's running 61 cards. And last game, I'm really glad that you got to see, Goblin Warchief shine. Because a lot of my turn 3 plays, if it's between that and Hordeling Outburst, I go with Hordeling Outburst. So I actually don't see a ton of play with Goblin Warchief. But that final turn that we had, that really goes to show just how powerful that card is with giving our other goblins haste and the cost reduction. It's crazy, especially since we have such a low curve. Like, we have 2 4-drops. Everything else is 3 or below, and we're running 23 mountains. And dude, again, I can only imagine how good Goblin Warchief would be if we were using more rare goblins. Like, this would be a really, really crazy deck. I mean, mono red goblins, it's a good deck. It's been around forever. It's stuck around, and the reason why is because it's really good. Now, here I want to point something out. When you are between Krenko's Command and a Goblin Instigator, play your Krenko's Command first. Because if we do draw a Goblin Warchief, it'd benefit us more to have the Goblin Instigator in our hand to get the cost reduction, because Krenko's Command will not get that cost reduction. Just a little tip. Okay, so this is interesting. I don't think they're gonna block with the Sprite Dragon. So I'm just gonna use Fanatical Firebrand to kill it now before it gets too big, and swing in for 2. Fanatical Firebrand I included in the deck, and I absolutely love it, because it helps us deal with a lot of 1-drop threats and helps us control the board and prevent our opponents from really popping off in ways that we can't handle. And I mean, there's some like high value targets. Sprite Dragon, not one I see a lot, but that's a high value target that if we can kill with our Firebrand, we absolutely want to take that trade. I'm talking about like Soul Warden, or if our opponent just plays even a Llanowar Elf, being able to kill that creature is like crazy beneficial from us. It's like a Soul Warden is very hard for us to beat. It is incredibly hard for us to beat with all that life gain. And then being able to slow down our opponent who's clearly trying to ramp if they're playing Llanowar Elves, it's super nice. Just super nice. Okay, here we're going to drop a Goblin Instigator. And do I want to go with the Skirk Prospector? I think I do. I'm going to drop the Skirk Prospector in case we don't find another land next turn. Do I want to swing already? We don't have any buff effects in our hand. We don't have any Battle Cry Goblins. We don't have our Hordemaster. We also don't have Ambitious Assault. So I want to swing. If I swing now, we lose 1. We go down to 6 goblins. Next turn, I might sack 1 to play Goblin Gang Leader. I'll just swing the 4. I don't know if it's the right call, but I'm going to say that it is. Oh, they don't block. Why would... They were really scared, I guess. It was weird. I was tapped out. I don't know what they were worried about. If they had blocked 1, I don't know what they thought I was going to do, but they were really worried. I'll take it. Swinging out was the right call. We got in for maximum damage. Now, we have Festival Crasher. If we cast an instant sorcery spell, it gets +2/+0 until end of turn. Okay. Doesn't have trample. Doesn't have flying right now. That's pretty good. Kiln Fiend. Absolutely love this card. I have a physical 60 card modern deck. It's mono red, burn, has Kiln Fiend in it. Absolutely love that card. It is ridiculous how powerful it gets and how quickly. I want to say with that deck, I can get a turn 3 kill if I have Kiln Fiend. I think. I'd have to double check because it's been a while since I've played it. None of my friends and I really play with 60 card decks anymore. Whenever we play, it's usually Commander. In fact, I'm trying to think if any of my friends even really have 60 card decks. I'm sure they do. It's been that long since I've seen any. Okay, so let's see. What do I want to do here? I think I am going to use the Skirk Prospector to sack a goblin to play Goblin Gang Leader here. They were scared about blocking last turn. Let's see if they still are. I think they probably blocked this time. They still don't. They are really scared to block right now. I don't know what they're super worried about. Maybe that we have another Fanatical Firebrand in hand. Because, I mean, I guess that is a real possibility. It doesn't make sense why they didn't block with Festival Crasher. The Kiln Fiend, again, I could, in theory, have another Firebrand. So I could sack a Goblin to Skirk, get the red mana that we need, play the Firebrand, and then ping down the Kiln Fiend to kill it off. So I understand that. But, again, the Festival Crasher, I have no idea why it didn't block. That's interesting. They foretold a card. I'm not sure what they would foretell. No blocks. Saw it coming, maybe. Demon Bolt. I do not know. Okay, do we have lethal on board? Yeah, we have lethal. Okay, well, that went extremely well for us. It was very easy. I think killing the Sprite Dragon was the right move and was a very good move. I think that probably would have pressured us out, like, pretty good amount. Alright. Another easy game. We're just killing it out here. So, opening hand looks good. We're going to keep it. We're going to hit our opponent with a quick hello. And a crowd surfing Karn because I really like this emote. And honestly, I don't think I've been doing it very much this recording session. But that's how I start most of my games. I usually hit you with a hello and then the Karn. Alright, opponent starts with the World Tree. That is very interesting. Followed by a Plains. Ichor Wellspring, okay. So this feels like a game that I don't want to go on for very long. I don't think, with the cards that we have right now, I don't think I can beat down our opponent before they get their 4th mana. Us being on the draw is not good for this situation either. So the question is, do I think that they have a board wipe prepared for next turn? If they do, Hordeling Outburst is not the right play. So I think I'm just going to go with the Goblin Warchief. And we're going to see if they have the board wipe. If they do, it's not the end of the world. We have a lot of goblins in hand still. We have a lot of board presence. All right, here it is. Turn 4. The big turn. Solemn Simulacrum. That's not a board wipe. Okay. Okay, this is really good. How much damage can I do? Ooh, this 4th mana does matter. I can Goblin Instigator, Battle Cry Goblin now, swing out, get an additional 1/1, and then activate Battle Cry Goblin. Dude, that 4th mana is really huge here. It might have won us the game. Alright, so you go to combat first because we have over 6 damage and Battle Cry Goblin already has haste, so it is also swinging. You get your 1/1. You go to blockers. It doesn't really matter if we pumped first, but we'll go to blockers. And now we activate Battle Cry Goblin. That's game, baby. That's game. Our opponent thought he was safe. Nah, we got him. Okay, that's going to about wrap it up for me. I just wanted to show you that for this play session, I did have losses. I went 13-5, which is a 72% win rate, which is still really, really good. And I'm quite proud of this deck list. So, if this was your first time seeing me, I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll check out my future content. If you have watched one of my videos before, that means you came back for more. So you should do us both a favor and hit subscribe, because I've got big plans for this channel. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you in the next one.